very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you so much for logging in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking this week. Well, IT major Infosys will be investing an additional $1 million in UAV manufacturing company IdeaForge Technology. In 2016, Infosys had invested $1.5 million in IdeaForge. Now, this investment will be utilized for R&D, sales and marketing, business development, and for meeting working capital needs at IdeaForge. Well, moving on to the second headline of the day, online furniture startup Pepperfry has raised 35 crore rupees in debt funding led by Innovent Capital. This is the third investment by Innovent Capital in Pepperfry. Now, these funds will be used to increase Pepperfry's footprint all across the country. Well, Chicago-based Fingerprint JS, a company focused on browser fingerprinting as a service, has raised $8 million in Series A funding led by Nexus Venture Partners. Now, this brings Fingerprint JS's total capital raised to $12 million. Now, the company plans to utilize this capital to expand its fraud prevention capabilities further into the enterprise market. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, amid tensions between Twitter and the Indian government, Indian microblogging app Koo is seeing a record surge in popularity. Now, in the last 7 days, the app has seen a tenfold increase in downloads in India and now has a total of 3 million users.
Well, moving on to our second segment of the day, I have with me Mr. Gagan Goel from India Quotient. Now, the reason we're doing this interview is because India Quotient has been in the news for launching their fourth, and it seems like the largest fund so far, $80 million. Run us through, what was the intent behind this and the thought process behind launching this $80 million fund?
So, this is our fourth fund, Priya. And the idea was that as the whole energy in the ecosystem is now charging up, and now we primarily invest at the early stage, so we wanted to keep writing the same small checks, but at the same time we wanted to do more number of investment as compared to what we were doing before. So with that intention, we decided to launch a $80 million fund after the $60 million, which was the previous fund. On a broader level, if you ask me, from this fund, we'll write the same paper stage check. So most of the companies which come to us, they are either pre-product, pre-launch, or just an idea stage. And we typically write $500,000 to $1 million check in those companies. So, and with this fund, we'll continue to invest in consumer tech investments, and also we plan to do India first software companies and B2B marketplaces through this fund.
I understand that around 35 to 40 companies is what you are aiming at in terms of investing into. So if you could run us through, the broad areas that would perhaps be the sunrise sectors, if I may ask, for 2021, according to you.
See, two questions. So if sunrise sector, if you ask me, there are many, and out of those sunrise sector where we invest is the second part. So what I can say, definitely after COVID, there is a big boom in terms of technology adoption, and healthcare and edtech are definitely the ones which have got the great tailwind, and e-com is also another big area. So there are many sectors which have got so much of benefit in, and we'll see more benefit in 2021, including Indian businesses adopting technology. For India Quotient, if you ask me, our focus from this fund will be to look for social media and content, which is one of the forte, consumer brands, then edtech, agri-tech, and also India first softwares, as I told you earlier, which because we have seen that this is something which is really a new area where a lot of we are seeing that the Indian businesses are now keen to use technology which was not there earlier so much, thanks to Jio, thanks to smartphone, thanks to a lot of consumer companies which have come, where they have made people feel that there's a value of technology and there's a value of software in their personal life. Same with these businessmen, we are seeing that now more and more keen to use software for their business needs also. So like maybe someone using it for accounting purpose, someone using it for generating business leads, someone using it for say managing the business operations better. So this is something is relatively a new area where we think that lot of new companies and new models will come where they will be focusing on software for small businesses in India, and that is also is our focus area. And the lastly is B2B marketplaces. We think that now India has a good opportunity to encash the B2B businesses also.
At this point in time, we are hearing of so many funds, being launched into the market. A lot of PE as well as VC players are launching funds into the market. Is this a good time, in terms of valuations, considering that, there is a lot of money in the market at this point in time? So how would you read the market sentiment? Do you think valuations are going to go higher because of the easy availability of money?
So Priya, if you ask me frankly, yeah, it is true that valuations are going higher because capital is more and meaningful opportunities are less. So there's too much of capital chasing the startup. So basically, and because of that, the valuations at each stage, if you see whether seed or Series A or Series B, they are like almost one stage ahead. Like so, seed stage companies are getting a valuation of a Series A stage company, and Series A stage companies are getting valuation of Series B. But you have to also look at the other fact that the market is also becoming bigger because for this. So earlier, like so suppose if you take say again retail as a market, suppose earlier maybe 700 billion was the size of the retail market in India. Everything was offline. And 10 years ago, Flipkart and Amazon came and they started making people buy online. Okay. The penetration increased to some extent. But in last 4 or 5 years, it has actually multifold the penetration, like right from few single digit percentage to coming to now closer to a double digit percentages. So basically the market is expanding. So if companies get a higher valuation in the early stage, it can get compensated if the companies can become much bigger. So earlier the horizon for a VC used to be I want to invest and find a unicorn. Now people have a feeling that now our companies can go beyond $1 billion valuation. They can go to $5 to $10 billion valuation. In US, the companies are going easily 20 to 40, $50 billion valuation. So if you enter at a higher price also, it can get compensated. So there is a positive outlook on that side also.
If you look at the whole exit environment, I believe that you have some very interesting investments that you all have, invested in companies over the last couple of years. Do you think this is a good time to exit many of those, considering that, the money that you'd get, the kind of returns that you'd get from these companies are high at this point in time? Or do you think it's worthwhile to wait for a while, considering that, they are riding the kind of wave that the pandemic has created?
Yeah, I think this is a little subjective to fund. It depends on what stage the fund it is in. Suppose the fund is completing is exit period, okay, like which is a standard lifetime of fund is typically 8 years. Then maybe it's a good time for people to encash if some of the companies are mature. Secondly, also some people have a strategy where, like if you look at India Quotient, also we have at point in point like because we have seen that a lot of time companies become very large and they don't get exits, right? This is a very common phenomenon which we all hear, that all these are paper valuation and all. And a lot of our LPs in India Quotient are Indian HNIs, which care for actual returns rather than the paper valuation. So at India Quotient, we have taken a balanced call whenever we have got a meaningful opportunity, we have done a partial exit. Our funds are performing quite well in terms of DPI. So I think if someone has that strategy where he think that he want to encash some part of it, I think this is a good time, because obviously companies are at a higher valuation. But if a fund which has a strategy to hold more, or maybe they have a more time to hold more, then definitely they should ideally hold more, because from here I think the things will go up only.
Okay, and before I let you go, a final question as far as what the outlook is for 2021 for India Quotient. As we speak, can we expect, exits? What is the kind of, plan, a strategy that you have for 2021? And $80 million, can we go to $100 million from here?
Yeah. I think, frankly, if you ask me, we are very positive. The type of response we are getting from our LPs and people, there's a good chance that this fund will oversubscribe. So, frankly, there is a lot of capital in the market we are seeing. So, I think we are very positive. In fact, our companies are also very positive. Very soon, some of our portfolio companies are becoming unicorn. We'll be announcing them. So, I think our companies are also doing well. Uh, so we are very positive. I think this decade from 21 till next 10 years, I think this will be the time when India venture market will prove, not because of only size of the unicorn or number of unicorns, but actually companies throwing profits, real profits, or they're getting listed on the Indian exchange or outside India exchange, or they're making real returns for the funds. So I think we are very positive.
All right. On that note, many thanks for joining us today, and we hope that the VC ecosystem does flourish in the years to come. And thank you very much for being a part of your story.
Well, time now to say goodbye. Many thanks for joining us on the Daily Dispatch all through this week. I'll see you on Monday at 5 p.m. Goodbye and have a lovely weekend.